All right, welcome back everybody. We are back in the garage with Chaz's roof. Chaz outside, Luna's outside, and we're just going to be finishing up the sanding. Brad's still here. Saturday, we finish sanding the sides so that we can get this top done today and carry on, get everything put together and put it onto the bus. Should be good to go. Here we go. All right, Lauren, welcome back everybody. In the garage here with Chaz's roof. Like I said, Chaz outside, I mentioned that. And we're gonna keep on going with this. I wanna thank everybody for watching the videos. Really appreciate all of you that watch the content. Smash the like button for me if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment. Tell me what you're working on. What would you like to see us work on? Anyway, we're gonna keep on cruising in here, try and get this stuff buttoned up today. And see how far we can get. There's Brad. Cheers. All right, lost some video footage of us putting this pop top on. Brad and I there last week, not really sure, but top's on. Still got to secure the canvas to the roof, but we'll get to that later after we know what's going to happen with prime paint in the near future, because putting that on, taking it back off for paint and then putting it back on is a bit of a pain. So we got it mounted on there. It's fitting pretty nice. Hinges are all setting up. It's working pretty good. And not too bad so far. Gonna be working on some of the other parts there today, getting glass removed, but wanted to give you a quick show of what the pop top looks like. Here we go. Back in the garage with Chaz. Brad's back in Cape Breton. Couple of days off from doing things on Chaz. We're going to dive back into it this evening, and I'm going to start finishing up that area where the new floors will join to that panel that goes in between the wheel arch tubs. Got a lot of rust right at the bottom edge. You can see the holes and everything else through it. Got an area where I'm going to have to put a jack and just level things out there, and then we're going to make new pieces. What I figure I'm going to do, climb in here, is where these heat tubes go through. I'm going to make a piece that goes from about here to here on the inside of these. I don't know if you call it like a bead roll, but there's little dents or whatever you want to call it in the metal, kind of a strength member. But I want to trim up along this edge and across here. I'm going to trim that out. I'm going to make a new piece that goes across there. Cut out a section here in the new piece to allow this to pass through. We'll weld it to the floor on either side from the back, so it's going to have a 90 on it going there and come straight up. Weld it in, then we're going to roll it back over here to fit into the space, trim off the new piece and start tacking it in to start giving this strength back into it. It's a little bit low here in the center, but we're going to square that all the way. Start making these pieces. I'm going to do one on this one, and I'll do another one over on this one to get these where we want them. Then I'll be able to finish up the centerpiece and the two ends. And that's going to secure the floor to that panel. We'll weld these panels in to the rear tubs on both sides. Those aren't welded up yet. And go from there. My goal this week is to get this part all finished up. And then I'm going to go around over here to where the B-post repair piece still needs to be put in to fix that bottom section, and we're going to weld in where the B-post close-up panel was put in, and that will close up all the cargo area. We'll get that squared away in the next couple of days. I think I probably can have that finished by Friday night, and then we're going to pull the glass. Let's do it. Alright, a little bit of an update. Finished doing the parts across the back. Just got it primed right now with like a weld-through primer. Going to do a little bit of grinding on the welds along there, and some seam sealing. Make sure that's all nice and sealed up. Not perfect, but it is a good repair on that back panel. It's going to be well treated up on the inside. It's going to be solid metal, and it will function very well for Brad long term into the future. Started working up here as well. Have a little look and show you what we got going on. So this back edge, this back edge of the B-post where I had that B-post closeout panel from the front, that's all welded in. Cleaned up a little bit. There's a couple spots. There's one weld still. There's still one hole here, but there's supposed to be a hole in the panel. So I'm probably going to just patch that a little bit more, although that's real good and solid. And then I started making a repair right there. So cut out that piece where there was a bit of a rust hole below the seat pedestal is right above here. And I've just got to grind this piece a little bit more because it doesn't quite fit into the space. Just want a little bit of a gap around it. Then I'm going to weld that in. After that, I'm going to cut a strip down here, I think, and weld in a new strip all the way up to join that new B-post closeout panel and here. Once that's welded in, grind the welds, have everything nice and clean, and then I will weld in this guy, which goes in from the front, but goes in that same area, and that will close up my hole in here. We'll repair all of this. Everything will be nice and solid, cleaned up, and good for 50 more years. Let's do it. Alright, there's a look at the first batch going in the back side of that seat. Going to do the strip. Going down here next. I want to be able to put a new strip in there and butt splice right to that B-post closeout piece. And that should close up that front corner so that I can then do the last piece that's going to go in and cover this whole bottom section. And it goes up and add another layer of metal up to about here on the inside as well. And that should take care of things in there. We'll check for any little pinholes. I can see one now. I'm going to fix that guy. He's right about here. Little spot there. I can see light coming through. We'll make sure we get that. Grind off those welds. Seam seal all this stuff in the coming days. And we're getting to the end of the cargo area. Let's do it. Alright, so we've got a bit of the pedestal issue squared away. Got the little patch, the spot that's done at the top here. And then I cut out a bit of a bigger strip and welded a new piece in there to close in that B-post where the B-post close out new panel. Nice thick heavy gauge metal came across. There was a gap there from the old metal that was still a little bit crusty on the edge, so I cut off another inch and added that strip right in there. Not the prettiest weld going up, but we'll just knock those down a little bit with the grinder, smooth them out, seam seal it again like I was saying. And then we're going to work on this piece, and that's the last panel to go in to close out the cargo area. So then I can just go around and weld all the way along here, weld in those back corners around the tubs, there and here, and we're going to be doing some seam sealing on all those joints in here, and that should button up the cargo area. It's coming along pretty good. Little spot in here that I'm not overly sure what's going on there. I think I'm going to pick away at that. It's almost like there's a rust hole and they filled it with something. But we're going to take a look at that, run another little patch in there. Not a big deal to open things up and patch them now while we're in it. So we'll take a look at that as well. And I'm hoping to get this piece done here next and keep on trucking. Let's do it. Alright, welcome back everybody. Still at it out here in the garage with Chance, but we're into the front wheel arch here. This is the last panel that I need to get put into place for the cargo area to be all buttoned up. So just taking a look, shining a light in behind where these panels were added just to see if I could see any pinholes through it. So spot welded a couple little places where there's been holes. I'll grind those off with a little finger sander here and get those cleaned up. And then I'll be able to start fitting this last panel, this guy. This guy, as I showed before, will fit up inside there. Decent there. So this panel, the easiest to get in there, kind of will fit in like that. Of course, I'm going to have to do some trimming to get it to fit in nice and tight. It's a bit tight against the inside of the fender, so I'll have to clean a little bit off this edge to get that to drop down and sit in there nice and tight. So we'll do that. A little bit of manipulation of the part to get the shape I need for it to go in. Of course, this is a, what they call a splash guard repair panel, so it's more to fix this section and cover up. But this heavier gauge B-post repair panel that goes all the way up and goes right to the top behind this piece of the dog leg. So when I had the dog leg opened up, I was able to put that piece up in behind, weld everything from the outside here and from inside the bus, because the B-post is kind of made up of three pieces. There's the inner piece that's behind this and on the inside of the bus. Then there's the outer piece that goes along the outside edge here, and then there's this front piece called the B-post closeout panel. So it's the last one that kind of closes that area up. And yeah, that's kind of it. So we're going to secure that stuff up today, and hopefully get this all cleaned up. That'll finish off the welding for the cargo area, so then I can start cleaning things up in there and probably do some seam sealing later on. And I'm going to pull the glass to see if I have any work to do in the back sill. So the two side louver windows, the two back side windows, and the rear hatch window, those are going to come out today. And see what we've got to deal with there and deal with it. Hopefully we can get everything squared away that we want to close this up today. I'm going to fire it up and get her outside again for a little bit, just so I can show you guys some of the other things that we've finished. I did lose like 5 different video clips when Brad and I were finishing things off, putting the pop top back on, lost that piece, and a couple other ones. So I'll show those today, get it fired up and outside, and I'll be able to wrap up this video today and post it for you guys so you can see where we're at. But next week I should have glass out, fixing sills, glass going back in, finish seam sealing. Gonna pull the windshield last and deal with anything up there, and then I hope to finish the welding on the exterior, put the interior pieces back in so that they're out of the way, because of course I'm storing them in the backyard, and that should wrap things up for me there. Then we're going to take it out to the body shop in the very next couple of weeks to fix a couple of dent areas on the far side. Back over there, 2 little low areas that we want to use the welder and puller to pull those low spots back out. And then we're going to grind off welds, and hopefully I can get it primed. Don't know if Brad and I are going to just be priming, maybe belt line below or something like that. Seal up the metal anywhere it needs it so that it's protected. Epoxy primer, I'm not sure what's the best product at the moment, but I will find out in the very near future. And yeah, should be good. Should be good. Hopefully next week, windows are back in, all these welds get finished, grind the welds so that it's ready to get primed. Of course, there's still going to be body work to do after that, but this will seal it up, and we should be good to go. Here we go. Do shopping. Okay, here we go again. So, had some help. Matt came by. You might have saw him in one of the videos there in the back corner, but we got the glass all pulled out. 2 louver windows both sides, 2 back windows both sides, and the rear. Haven't tackled the front yet, not doing doors at this time. I will do the windshield, but not today. All of the edges look pretty good. A little bit of surface rust, but there are 0 holes anywhere along any of the sills. They're in really nice shape. So we are pretty good there. We were most concerned about this one, where the quarter window is, but all the rust and stuff that you were seeing from that for the last 20 years was simply the quarter window frame itself, all rotting away and then dripping down the side. So that's one of the worst pieces for rust in there. And this side one here is in nice shape too. Some of the hardware was changed out for not the right screws and pieces like that. So there's a few rusty areas from the screw actually rusting. We'll try and change all that hardware to stainless steel and make it as good as we can. We are going to have to clean up some of this stuff because this little tab here is got some flaky, rusty bits. This is what the little guard cap hooks onto. There's a rubber seal that'll go in there, and then the guard goes on. We'll clean that up. We'll put some rust treatment on it. Maybe put a bit of PUR or something in there to try and hold on to it real good. But we're gonna just take a wire wheel to that, clean it up. Work on that today. Get some new seals put on the glass. All the glass is here. We'll clean it up, put new seals on, and have it ready to go in. Our goal is to have that back in this weekend. Today's Saturday. Tomorrow's Mother's Day, so limited opportunities to be in the garage with domestic responsibilities lurking and over my shoulder. But that's what we're up to. Still got to finish up that front quarter, so I wanted to get the glass out when I had some help here today. So we're going to fire it back up, put it back inside. I'm going to keep on going there. I'll work on the glass, get that cleaned up, and hopefully tomorrow put all that stuff back in with new seals. Let's do it. Alright, just going to do a little recap of where we're at and get this video uploaded and out. So we got all the glass out. I've put new seals on the 3 pieces for the 2 back sides and rear one. The louvered windows, I have new seals for them. I'm not going to put them on just yet. I'm going to wait until you know what's happening with paint before I change those seals. They're very easy to pop out. Handful of screws, a little better than a handful, 2 handfuls, and the windows pop out. Put new seals on when we're ready. Took a wire wheel to all the sills, and I put a bit of the phosphoric acid on there to do a rust conversion treatment on those sills. Do have a hole about this area on the other side, so we're gonna have 1 repair to do, but the 2 louvered windows gonna be able to go in tomorrow. This one's going to go in, that one's going to go in, and that one I'm going to do a repair. That'll be tomorrow's task and the next video. Got this panel up in here, all stacked in place, got to finish welding it, but it's in place. Most of the welding on this side is done. Just got welding to do up underneath there. Work on that tomorrow. Wheels are already off. I have access to it. I'm just a bit tired from crawling under there today, so I'll do other tasks, but louvers are ready over there. This glass is ready with all new seals. This glass piece here was the glass that was there with a quarter window, not going back in. We're going to go with this sliding window version like I have in my bus instead, and it's ready to go in. So we'll be jumping back on that tomorrow. But that's about where we're at. Once I finish that section, we're going to be doing the seam sealing and leave it sit for a day, paint those edges in the cargo area. I'd like to be done that tomorrow so that Monday I can get some wood to make the new flooring. There's 2 layers of plywood that go down. I have the old ones to make a pattern, and we're going to finish that off, put some vinyl down, and then I can grab all the interior pieces. Sorry, and heat floating around out there. All the interior pieces are in the backyard in the storage, so I'm going to grab that, bring it up, be able to put the interior back in and have it not in the yard anymore. And then we're going to just finish all the welding on these panels. This fender needs to be welded up, stacked on. Both rear corners need to be welded on. The rear valance piece, which I just used the spot welders, so that's not a problem. And this piece under here will get spotted on. I have 1 repair left to do on this dog leg, and I still have to weld the step underneath for the driver's side dog leg, but I need the large nuts that are going to get welded inside that piece to for the, I guess, the side step of the bumper on the driver's side where it mounts to. And that'll be it. But thanks very much everybody for watching videos. Smash the like button for me if you haven't gotten this far. Subscribe, share the videos for me, and drop a comment. Love hearing from people, even if you just want to say hi. I really appreciate it. Have a good one. Cheers.